Let's see what this fella's got on his mind. I don't know who this guy is. I just saw him on, not on TikTok, but his video's on TikTok, but I saw him on a Twitter account that reposted his video. Let's see what he's got to say.
Be sure of this, that the things that you're about to see this year are going to rock your understanding.
Yeah, man. Maybe. I mean, stranger shit's happen, right? I mean, I'm ready for my understanding to be rocked. I'm on it. I'll be honest with you. I've been looking for a good understanding rocking, man. I've been waiting for it. You might hear my understanding is all unrocked and shit, just kind of sitting there like, is anyone going to rock me already? And then finally, here comes 2024 to be like, oh, shit, I'm getting rocked now. I love these kind of videos. I love this kind of delivery. I love this, like, let me tell you something, man, some revelations is in the wind right now. You think you know what's really going on in this country? Well, hold on to your butts, because 2024's coming along, and you about to see shit that's gonna blow your damn mind. It's like, okay, man, I'm ready. Let's do this.
They're going to bring your faith to the edge, and you're going to realize that the spiritual battle that's been at hand, the things that were uncovered in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20 shall be brought to light.
Why just those years? Was nothing uncovered in 21, 22, 23? I guess we stopped uncovering things then, but it's taken 3 years. Okay.
That the things that we know about certain people who drink certain things extracted from children.
Oh, it's like an adrenochrome guy. Cool.
It's true. It's been true. It's in the Bible.
Is it? I don't think adrenochrome is mentioned in the Bible. Let me ask ChatGPT. Adrenochrome is not mentioned in the Bible. It is a chemical compound formed by oxidation of epinephrine, adrenaline, and is known for its unstable nature. The compound gained some attention in the mid-20th century when researchers speculated it might be linked to schizophrenia, but this theory did not gain widespread acceptance in the medical community. Additionally, adrenochrome has been referenced in popular culture and various conspiracy theories, but these are not related to any biblical text or teachings. Well, ChatGPT is controlled by the fucking elites, so of course it's gonna lie. Hey, if you like this clip, you might like the full stream, which I do every Sunday, more or less, over on the Pessimist Productions Patreon, link down below. Thank you kindly.
There is a spiritual battle of wickedness, sorcery, evil, destruction.
Man, I feel kind of jealous of these dudes sometimes, man. Because, we do live in a pretty interesting world, but, think about how interesting the world this guy lives in, this dude gets to wake up every day in a world where there's, sorcery afoot. Every day is just a D&D campaign for this dude. He gets to wake up and like, man, tell you what, them sorcerers trying. Man, what fun, though. ChatGPT is on adrenochrome. Oh, shit. Yeah, this dude does have villain eyebrows. I can't do it. Mine don't do that.
On a level that you can't understand because you see it in horror movies, but you don't believe it.
Yeah.
And it's going on all around you by people in high places, and it has been since the beginning of time.
The beginning of fucking time? So this shit was even going on in the Garden of Eden and shit. I'm assuming that that's the beginning of time for this guy.
Who do you think gave Nimrod the idea to build a tower to heaven so that they could break into heaven and take control?
I don't know. I just assumed that he was an idiot or something. That's why you call him Nimrod, right? No, actually, Nimrod being used as a derogatory term is actually has its origins in Bugs Bunny, because Nimrod was a great hunter, And so Bugs Bunny would use it to taunt Elmer Fudd, calling him Nimrod. It was like, you know, calling a terrible baseball player Babe Ruth or something. It was like an insult. But people just not realizing the context just started thinking Nimrod was just a word for, you know, idiot. So.
A siege.
Oh, I guess this is the Tower of Babel, right? Is it Nimrod? I didn't know it was Nimrod that constructed the Tower of Babel or whatever. But like, the Tower of Babel story really doesn't make sense because we know that, you know, there's no heaven up there. Like, we've sent up rockets and well, when you're a conspiracy nut, who knows what this guy believes? He might think that there's like a holographic projection hiding heaven or something. But Nimrod was trying to reach heaven, I guess, with his tower. He probably just, he didn't really exist probably, but if he did, if there's any sort of actual basis, he's probably just thinking like, hey, everyone says heaven's up there, so maybe we can just get up there. Don't worry about this God shit. We'll just cut the line. Like, it doesn't take some sort of nefarious, like, intermediary force to put that idea in someone's head. It's like, hey, there's a cool ass party going on in this club. I think I might know a way in around the back. Oh, let's sneak in. You know, it doesn't take like Satan or whoever being like, hey, Nimrod, you should build a tower to heaven. But the story really doesn't make any sense by modern standards because we know, like, we've built huge fucking towers way taller than anything they could have built in the ancient world, and none of them have ever fucking come close to reaching heaven. We've sent rocket ships to the fucking moon, and like never, it was like, hey guys, we were trying to just get to the moon, but I think we just found heaven. Like, that didn't happen. So like, the Tower of Babel was never gonna work. So why was God so fucking pissed off about it? He should have just been like, stupid ass motherfuckers. They think they could build a tower to heaven.
The Tower of Babylon was a siege tower.
I thought it was the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel and the city of Babylon, although related, are not precisely the same thing. The Tower of Babel, as described in the Bible, Genesis 11:1 through 9, is a structure built in the land of Shinar, Babylonia. And the story is meant to explain the existence of diverse human language. The narrative describes how a united human race speaking a single language attempted to build a city and a tower with its top reaching the heavens. God, observing their efforts, confounded their speech so they could no longer understand each other and scatter them across the world. The name Babel is described from the Hebrew word balal, meaning to jumble or confuse. Babylon, on the other hand, was a real ancient city located in the Euphrates River, along the Euphrates River, or is it Euphrates? I think it's Euphrates River in present-day Iraq. It was a major city in the ancient Babylonian Empire and known for its beautiful architecture and significant cultural influence. Babylon is often mentioned in various biblical narratives and is in the Hebrew and Christian scripture. The city was famous for its architectural marvels, blah, 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 blah. So not the same thing. Don't know, maybe because they're similar words.
Somebody taught primitive man how to make bricks, and the first thing they built was a siege tower to heaven.
How come we couldn't figure out bricks on our own? They're just stone that's like carved into a fucking square. Is it really that far-fetched to believe humanity cooked that up on our own? Like, we've come up with a lot of stuff more interesting and dynamic and like technologically advanced than the brick. So I don't know why we need some sort of external explanation of like, who you think taught man how to build the brick? Pretty sure we figured it out on our own. Right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay.
Heaven to break in and take control of heaven? Where do you think that they got that idea?
I mean, I don't know, but it's a stupid idea because it didn't work and it wouldn't have worked because you can't get to heaven by piling bricks. Like, even if there is a heaven, clearly it's not reachable by brick. So what are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Then God scattered the languages and scattered the nations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, through technology, we're doing it again.
Uh-huh.
The Nephilim.
Nephilim? It's Nephilim. It's not the Tower of Babylon. It's the Tower of Babel. It's not Nephilim. It's Nephilim. This guy doesn't know shit. He doesn't know shit about his own fucking book. He's sitting there trying to preach to me. Jeez. Jeez Louise.
Tampered with creation and altered God's creation.
Okay.
By creating...
Look how fucking hard he has to focus just to say this shit, too. Like, listen to how much he's struggling just to keep it coherent. Like, at least he's doing that, though. At least he's putting forth the effort to, like, make this shit make sense. I mean, as much as he can fucking make it make sense, because it just doesn't. But, like, then God created different languages because the Tower of Babylon was created by the Nephilim. And like, oh my God. You can just tell, like, as soon as this motherfucker's done with the video, the goddamn video on the back, goddamn motherfucker, get me fucking better, bitch.
Giants on the
Yeah, this is Josh Fierstein's slower uncle.
the earth, men of renown, the gods
Only marginally slower, though.
of old. The angels came down and made superhumans. They made giants and they made monsters on the earth.
Okay.
And God filled the earth with water to the firmament.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he restarted creation.
Okay.
Listen, they're doing this again. Where do you think all these breakthroughs are coming from? Where do you think all this information is coming from?
Human ingenuity?
It is the knowledge of good and evil.
No. Pretty sure it's just human beings adding on to the knowledge that we've accumulated over generations.
Who worship knowledge love the power of knowledge. The knowledge not of God and humbleness and meekness and kindness, but the knowledge of power and destruction and eternal life. And they think that they can destroy God.
You don't really have to destroy something that doesn't exist. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of the people who have, like, formulated this technology and categorized this information are not, generally speaking, believers in God. I think that more often than not, belief in God is broadly confined to people who are a little bit lower down on the social strata totem pole. People who need to be told something to believe in so they can be placated and controlled. That's my opinion. I don't think that the upper echelons of society really need the idea of God all that much because they already have everything they want in the here and now. The only thing they don't have in the here and now is, of course, immortality. And they're working on that. But they're not working on that because they want to defy God, because they don't believe in God. They're working on that because they're just egomaniacal, you know, hubris-filled megalomaniacs who think that they should just be around forever. And, you know, it's an impulse that human beings, I think, have always had. I mean, it's one of the big appeals of religion in the first place, because no one really wants to die. Everyone wants to believe that their life will continue on and on forever. And that's like where the idea of heaven even comes from, right? Because we want there to be some magical land where after we die, we're going to go to paradise. But of course, the elites, the rich people, the gatekeepers that control religion want to tell us that only by accepting their doctrine will we actually get to heaven. The funny thing is that this guy is attacking the elites, but he's actually ultimately fallen for their mind control, which is religion, which has always been used to control people.
They think that they can find a loophole in the scriptures and
they don't give a shit about the scriptures. They don't care. They don't give a shit about it.
Overturn the revelation. The Bible says they seek to change the times and the seasons. You and me had better get our eyes on Jesus. You better humble down. You better get real faith, or your faith will be shaken and you may be deceived. Jesus and Matt.
I mean, you already have been. I mean, you literally believe in a religion that was concocted to make people accept a miserable lot in life because they had the promise of, hey, if you eat a whole bunch of shit in this life, once you die, you will ascend to a magical paradise where you will live forever in happiness. But in the meantime, you got to listen to us, the people who control the narrative, the people who get to interpret this book for you. So, you know, as this guy is preaching against being controlled by the elites, he's controlled by the elites. As this guy is preaching that you need to turn your faith to Jesus because otherwise you're going to be destroyed or whatever. He's already been destroyed by faith itself because, you know, any sort of reasoning this dude is capable of has waved bye-bye. And now he's a conspiracy nut who is, you know, talking ominously over some spooky music. Dun, 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 dun. Let me tell y'all, the time is coming, and if you don't get right with Jesus now, you gonna regret it when your ass is on fire down there in the lake of fire with the devil poking you in the tuchus with his big red pitchfork. It's like, all right. Settle on down.
Matthew 24 and 25.
All right.
Tells again and again, let no man deceive you, for many false Christs shall
And he's been deceived.
arise.
Yeah, many false Christs will arise, including Jesus Christ. There's no Christ. There's no magical man in the sky. There's no otherworldly realm that we can ascend to. It's just this. I know that sucks to hear. I know it sucks to know that you're just always going to be you and I'm always going to be me until the day we die, and then we're just kaput and gone. I know that sucks major rancid fucking donkey balls when you've already acclimated yourself to the idea that you're an eternal being that's going to join Jesus in heaven and eat mashed potatoes and fucking sing in the heavenly choir and shit. I know that's a downgrade, but that's just kind of the fucking truth, man. And I'm not trying to be a Jesus, okay? I'm not trying to be your Jesus or anyone's Jesus. I'm not trying to tell you to worship me or worship anybody else. I'm telling you to think for yourself, to drop the religion shit, to drop the QAnon adrenochrome shit, and fucking open your eyes to the simple and basic facts of fucking reality. And if you do that, you'll see that the truth is not coming in 2024. The truth has been here all along, but you've blinded yourself to it.
This is serious business now.
It's really not, though. It's really not serious business. I'm sorry. I know that, you think that if you play some intense music and you talk in a really ponderous tone filled with ominous portent, and you do that scary thing with your eyebrows and you say you gotta get right with Jesus. I know that feels like there's some power in that, and to some extent there is, but it's psychological power over other human beings. It's not actual power from any sort of divine source. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. What was the point of this video? It was everywhere. I honestly don't know. I think it was just to be scary and to scare you into blind obedience to some form of Christian dogma. That's usually the MO of Christians. They want more Christians. The Christian meme wants to spread, and this is one of the ways it spreads. Especially if you're like a vulnerable person and you feel like, oh my God, I'm out of control with my life and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to turn to. And then you hear this guy deliver this ominous, portent-filled sort of warning of get right with God. And that can be like, oh shit, maybe I should. And that could be the thing that's the catalyst. Like it hits you just the right mental state. You could fucking go down that path. Well, maybe not you. Because, I like to think my audience is a little bit brighter than that. But like still, someone could. Someone who is not very bright, but is in a bad place and is kind of desperate, might hear that message and go, yeah. It's about time I got right with God. That's the answer to what ails me. And it's really not. It's pretty much never been. No one has ever been improved by it, in my opinion. Maybe it's done some superficial things for some people, like gave me the strength to quit drinking or something like that. But that's all psychological. That's all you. And I hate to see people who used their own willpower to climb out of a bad situation then credit Jesus and God and religion, when really it was them the whole time. But, some people have the idea that you need these sort of delusional beliefs in order to, be free or whatever. But you don't. You just need to be reasonable and skeptical and treat every claim like it's something that needs to be proven to you. And if it can't be proven to you, then, fuck it. You don't know it's all psychological, TJ. Where is your proof? I don't need to prove a negative. If it's not all psychological, then why can other religions do it? How come people can say, man, Islam helped me. Man, being Wiccan helped me. If it's really only the power of one specific religion that's doing it, then how come you can hear this shit from all religions? That seems to me a pretty powerful indicator that what's really going on here is that human beings are deluding themselves into thinking that there's some kind of cosmic force on their side, and that's helping them cope with reality. But unfortunately, it's not a great coping mechanism. It's like trying to cope with having a small dick by pretending you got a huge dick. It's like trying to cope with being flabby by pretending that you're fat as muscle. I mean, it might feel nice, but it's not true. And you're always better off in life making decisions based on what is true than you are making decisions based on what's not actually true. And that's my conjecture. And can I prove it? Not absolutely, but I think that it's very logically consistent. And if you want to deny it, then I'd say prove to me that it's anything more than psychology. Because it seems to me that burden of proof would rest way more squarely on your shoulders, because you're the one positing something that can't be proven to exist. We know psychology exists. We know delusions exist. We know that not all religions can be true, and therefore most of them are delusions. So what makes you think yours isn't?